There is one word that holds the key to why your manifestations come true and why they don't. That word is forgiveness. Forgiveness is forgetting as if it never happened. If you claim that you have forgiven but won't forget, then you really haven't forgiven anything at all. Throughout my years in the manifestation community, this is one word that I rarely hear tossed around. It puzzled me as to why so many people want to manifest a person or revise an event that happened to them. Yet at the same time, these very people want to hold on to resentment and pain from that very thing or from that very person. However you perceive the way that this reality works behind the scenes, it is fueled by your willingness to forgive and to forget. It's time to let go of the past so you can receive a better future. Welcome to Here Nor There. This channel is dedicated to empowering you through the art of conscious creation, shaping the life that you aspire to live. I would greatly appreciate it if you hit that like, share, and subscribe button down below and leave a comment. Join the members only area on Patreon or as a YouTube member for exclusive content. One-on-one coaching is available if you're in need of a more personal approach to applying the law of assumption to your own life. If you're on Facebook, don't forget to join our group and follow me on social media. All of these links can be found below in the description and in the pinned comment. This will help us to stay connected, ensuring that you never miss any updates. In his writings, Neville Goddard mentioned forgiveness some 85 times across 10 books. In some way, shape, or form, he spoke about the term in almost every chapter in each of his books. Yet I never heard forgiveness discussed during my years of binging on law of assumption and law of attraction content here on YouTube. Whenever my life was in a rough patch, I could never find anything on forgiveness. When I picked up Neville's books for myself a couple of years ago, I was blown away by this revelation. I promised myself that whenever I start a channel, I would have the conversation that others are not willing to have. I've read countless posts and comments on how to get somebody else to apologize. Yet, I saw just as many posts asking how to manifest a person back without acknowledging that they were the reason why the person left in the first place. I read emails and comments every week about how my viewers feel betrayed by someone in their life. A lot of people out there are angry at another person and they search blindly within themselves so they can forgive the other person, but they have yet to forgive themselves. Most of what they are truly angry at is themselves. Angry that this happened to them, then even more angry that they allowed this certain issue to keep going. Angry that they've experienced rejection, humiliation, or even negative consequences of their very own actions. I want to make something clear. This does not excuse the negative action that the other person committed. I'm not saying that at all, but look at it like this instead. If you react in a negative way to someone's behavior towards you, you are actually angry that the other person triggered an issue within you. Therefore, you may actually be angry that this deeply rooted issue has come to light in your own life. So how do we stop this cycle? We're going to break this down into two parts: self-forgiveness and forgiveness of others. Although we are predominantly focused on forgiving others whenever we hear this term, it is self-forgiveness that holds back so many manifestations. In fact, I'm going to make a bold claim here. It is forgiveness that allows you to quantum jump into your desired life and your desired reality. We are always talking about letting go in this community, but many of you don't understand what it means, or you don't want to understand what it means. I'll present a different approach. I'll say it plain and simple. It is you who is jumping from state to state, not them, not your SP, not your friends, not your family, not your coworkers and colleagues. Your emotions and focus tied to your current state. So hear me on this. If you are holding on to one state of being, you cannot grasp the other. You cannot grasp the feeling of love and trust while you also hold on to fear and resentment. You cannot be double-minded. This is why all the people in your life have told you over and over again that forgiveness is for you, not them. Are you manifesting love and romance, but you can't let go of what your person said to you when they rejected you? Are you longing for a reunion with your best friend, but you can't get over how they talked about you behind your back? It is you that's holding you back. You are the resistance that you can't seem to identify. Many of you may not have forgiven yourselves for allowing certain behaviors or allowing certain people to take advantage of you. This only happens simply because of some negative beliefs from within that were programmed into you by other people. So forgive yourself for who you were and accept who you are to become. Elsewise, what is the point of manifesting that best friend if you're going to hold on to the past and what they did to you? What is the point of manifesting your lover back and you can't forgive them for what they said or did? Let me ask you something. Do you want to hold on to a state of resentment? Do you actually want to hold on to the belief that you can't trust anyone anymore? By all means, Pick your own adventure. Today's society has made victimhood into something that is to be celebrated, but remaining in this state of being will rob you of your dreams and desires behind closed doors. In my own wonderful love life, the final step in love was for me to forgive myself for all the mistakes I made in my relationship. I was carrying around guilt for months while being frustrated that the law just wasn't working for me anymore. I was walking around with anger towards the woman I love because she simply reflected back my own guilt, my own shame, and my own fear back to me. I owe my success to forgiveness. When I forgave her and myself in private, I was blessed openly with the reunion that I wanted so bad. Forgiveness is still a choice, but if you long for a new reality where you have what you want and who you want, forgiveness is a requirement. Everyone loves Neville Goddard's concept, everyone is you pushed out, but it takes experience to truly understand what it means. It's not every SP is you pushed out. It is everyone is pushed out, meaning that the entire vast world is a reflection of your inner state. Everyone reflects back to you what you truly believe about yourself, them, and the society that you live in. Furthermore, when we encounter another person in our lives that treat us kindly, that is a result of everyone as you pushed out. On the other hand, when we encounter another person in our lives that treat us poorly, that is a result of everyone as you pushed out as well. There's no cherry picking allowed in the law of assumption. When you realize that everything comes from within, how can you hold on to anger, resentment, and vitriol simply because another person reflected back a part of yourself that you don't even like? The wonderful teacher Bashar says it best. Forgiveness involves the idea of acknowledgement and awareness that you have a negative belief in yourself, but also recognize that the other person did you a service by identifying a belief that you have in which you may not agree with anymore. So in my personal life, when I come across someone who's acting poorly towards me, I don't react negatively anymore because that only confirms that I identify with what they said or did. I respond calmly, or I remove myself from that person's vicinity simply because I do not agree with what they reflected. I am not the one to try. However, since this person is simply reflecting some part of me, I forgive myself first for this belief being shown back to me. Then I forgive them and I let it go. If you're still confused, let's break it down like this. Let's imagine that you're wearing your favorite red shirt. A man approaches you and says, "I can't stand people who wear those ugly blue shirts." How would you react? Would you jump out the window and start yelling at that man about how offended you are? Or would you think he's simply crazy and ignore him because you know you're not the person in the blue shirt? The same goes for your self-concept. If someone tells you that you're not good enough, you walk away from that person because clearly they aren't talking about you. You are good enough. You are great enough. You are capable. You are handsome. You are beautiful. So why react when that is not who you really are? Now is the time that you show it with how you choose to react. That positive, calm, and confident reaction is forgiveness in practice. Such a disciplined one forgives all men for being that which they are. He knows as a wise judge that every man perfectly expresses that which he is, as man conscious of being. He knows that upon changeless foundation of consciousness, all manifestation rests, that changes of expression can be brought about only through changes of consciousness. Neville said that. But what the hell does that mean? That means that the awakened man or the awakened woman forgives because you know if you want to change how someone perceives you, you must first change your own state of consciousness. Your world is just a mirror. If you do not like the reflection you see, you don't yell at the mirror to smile. You smile first and the mirror will smile back at you. Keep in mind, none of us are perfect. You have, can, and will continue to make mistakes in your own life. You will someday want forgiveness. If you forgive others, then you will also be forgiven when the time arises. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't teach you how to forgive in just a few minutes. However, I'll leave you with something to get those thoughts started in your mind. Not too long ago, I did a video on revision. This is the most powerful technique to change the outcome of the past event that you found to not be of your liking. I use the revision technique constantly in my own life, even for small things, and it has changed my life for the better each time. However, revision is forgiveness. To revise is the act of imagining a reality where the outcome of an event was more favorable. Most times you'll be left with the memory of the original event, so forgiveness is in order so you can enjoy the new reality that you've already imagined. To go forward in imagination is to forgive. Forgiveness is the life of the imagination. The art of living is the art of forgiving. The man himself yet again. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe Neville. But if you're watching this episode, you already know deep down what you must do. You deserve forgiveness. Therefore, others deserve to be forgiven. Whether you desire the person to be in your life or not, forgiveness will set you free to enjoy an endless amount of realities that you will find to be more fulfilling than your current one. The act of forgiveness is extremely easy, but it seems complex to the conscious mind. The past is the past. We were all young and we were all naive at one point. You would not have consciously chosen what happened to you, and you didn't know better at the time. If you know better, you would have done better. Therefore, the first step in forgiveness is to forgive yourself. Hanging around in the energy of guilt isn't doing you or anyone else any favors in life. You can't beat yourself up for your past behavior. There's not one single technique that I can recommend to forgive yourself, because the act of acknowledgement in and of itself is good enough. Acknowledgement for your mistakes and bad choices is the same as accepting responsibility, but not blame. Taking responsibility allows you to release any guilt coming from your past self. It's an understanding that everything is a reflection and you did the best you could do with what you knew at the time. When you release this guilt, you can take hold of whatever state you want to embody from there. It is time to break free of your old life. It is time to break free of anger, resentment, guilt, and shame. It's time to experience everything you've been trying so hard to manifest. You break free by acknowledging that you are no longer that person of old. Remind yourself that you are forgiven, that you forgive, and that you are forgivable. That's our discussion for today. I am Shaun, and you are neither here nor there. Thank you for your time.